Hey, are you ready for some number sense today? I'm going over UIL Number Sense Test B from 2017. This is mental mathematics, and this is a 10-minute contest. All problems are to be solved mentally. Make no calculations with paper and pencil. So I will show you details step by step on how to work these out, and I may write on the margins just for the explanation. You're not allowed to. You can only write the answers down. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at number one. Number one is an addition problem, and most students will add one digit at a time. 2 plus 5 is 7, and then 9 plus 6 is 15. Carry a 1. 14 plus 18 is 32, plus the 1 is 33. Now, an alternate way of doing this is you could add 8 here. You would have 1500, and subtract 8 here. That would give you 1857. And so then you could just add 0 plus 57, that gives you this 57, and then 15 plus 18 gives you the 33. So this is one way of looking at it. If you can do that, then that might be a little bit quicker for you. 23.5 times 0.7, they want the answer as a decimal. 7 times 5 is 35, carry a 3. 7 times 23 is 161, plus the 3 is 164. Again, you can multiply one digit at a time, and I need to come back 1 here and 1 there. That's 2 decimal. Now, I am writing marks here for the explanation, and you are not allowed to do this, so I'm going to erase this here. You're only allowed to write the answers down. So let's take a look at the next one. Number 3 says it's a mixed number, although this could be a trick because I think there was an error on the key. 4 goes into 28 7 times. 4 goes into 2 0 times. 4 into 24 is 6. This is not a mixed number, and this is just 706 was the answer. Number 4, 112 minus 35 minus 8. So 112 minus 8 gives you 104, and 104 minus 35 is 69. Different ways of doing that, whatever is easier for you. 1 3/5 is 1.6. How do you change that to a percent? Multiply by 100. So that'd be 160%. 21 squared, that's 441. Otherwise, you're going to do 20 times 22, and then add 1. Number 7 is 1 1/3 times 36. That's 4/3 of 36. 3 goes into 36 12 times. 12 times 4 is 48. So just think of 4/3, 1 1/3 times 36. 3 into 36 is 12. 12 times 4 is 48. 45 times 54 minus 24 times 45. You see that there's a 45 here and a 45 there, 45 everywhere. Subtract these two, 30 times 45. Write a 0 for the 30. 3 times 45, that's 135. Okay. 108 is what percent of 27? Well, it's more than 100% because it's larger. 108 over 27 is exactly 4. It's 4 times that. As a percent, 4 times 100 is 400. So for number 9, the answer is 400%. Number 10 is an approximation. And so you have 213 plus 4700. So I'm going to add these two together. I'm going to disregard that one, minus 7. So 200 plus 4700, that's 4900. If that was 4900 and added to 18300, so I'm going to write the hundreds here, and then 182 plus, that's pretty close to 230, so 23,000 would be right within the range. Number 11, 1996 times 5 plus 20. Well, this is 2,000 minus 4, so there's a little shortcut to this, a little trick here. is that when you multiply that by 5, this plus 20 and the minus 20 here cancel out. So you wind up with 2,000 times 5, which is 10,000. So make sure you write all your zeros correctly. That was 10,000 for number 11. Okay, so for number 12, 11 minus 7, that's 4, times 5 is 20, divided by 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Number 13, multiplying by 11, 11 shortcut. So what you do is you take the last digit here, 5, write that down. Then you add 7 plus 5, which is 12. Write a 2 and carry a 1. 2 plus 7 is 9, plus the 1 that we carried is 10. Write a 0, carry a 1. And then 2 plus 1 is 3. 3025 is the answer for number 13. Number 14 is a remainder question. When you divide by 9, you can cast out 9s, multiples of 9. So the first digit and the last digit add up to 9. So I'm going to throw those out. And all I have to do is add 2 plus 1 here. 2 plus 1 is 3. So the remainder is 3. That's when you're divided by 9. The sum of the divisors of 50. So the first step is to take the number 50 and write that in prime factorization form. That would be 2 times 5 squared, 25 times 2. So you have 2 to the first times 5 squared. And then if we want to find the sum of divisors of 50, once we have that in prime factorization form, I'll find the sum of the factors of 25, which are 1, 5, and 25, which is equal to 31. If you add 5, 1, 5, and 25, that's 31. And for 2, it's just 1 and 2. So then you multiply 3 times 31, that's 93. And that gives you the sum of divisors of 50. Instead of trying to add all the divisors of 50, which would be 1 and 50, 2 and 25, and then 5 and 10. And I think this is a little bit shorter, a little bit quicker. Find the GCD for 18, 24, and 36. The difference here is 6, and the difference here is 12. 6 goes into all three, but 12 doesn't go into 18. So the greatest common factor, the greatest common divisor is 6. Number 17, 3/5 minus 1/10 plus 2/15. I need a common denominator, which would be 30. 10 goes into 32 3 times, and 15 goes into 32 times. So I'm going to have 4 over 30 here. So what you're going to do mentally is you're going to think, okay, I've got 4 over 30 here, and then I've got 3 here. So that leaves me 1 over 30. And then here I've got 536. 6 times 3 is 18. So then 18 plus the 1 is 19. So 19 over 30. Number 18, we want the answer in cubic yards, and we're given feet. We know that 3 feet is 1 yard, so we have to divide by 3 here, divide by 3 here, and divide by 3 here. So mentally you've got 4 times 2, that's 8. 8 times 4/3. 8 times 4 is 32 over 3. And you can write the answer as 32 over 3 or 10 and 2/3. 32 over 3 is perfectly acceptable. Improper fraction is okay on number 18. And that's the first 18. We're going to do the first 20 today plus some bonus questions. So let's look at the next column. Okay, so number 19. We have D and 2 C's. D is 500. CC, that's 200. And then we have LX, that's 50. So we're going to have 500 plus 200. We're going to have 700. And then we have L is 50. Plus 10, that's 60. Plus 5, that's 65. So I've got 65 here. And then over here I've got 10 plus 9, 19. So 65 plus 19 is the same thing as 64 plus 20, which is 84. So the answer here will be 784. which is actually 28 squared if they ask for that. Number 20 is an approximation. 275 times 31 minus 2017. You could just think of minus 2000. Now, 275, I would think of 270 times 31. And what I like to do is maybe make the 31 a 30. And if I do that, I've got to add 1 to 27. So I've got 280 times 30. So I've got 2 zeros. So I'm going to put 2 zeros here. You can forget about the 17. So then I've got 28 times 3 is 84. 84 minus the 20 is 64. 6,400 would be right in there. So I'm doing 28 times 3 minus 20. 84 minus 20, 64. And so that's it for today's test. Now, for hanging around to the end, I will go over some bonus problems. And we're going to look at problem number 24. We want the answer in base 10. So number 24 says, what is 131 base 5 to base 10? So when you're doing this, it reminds me of synthetic division, where you multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to multiply 5 times 1, that's 5, plus 3, that's 8. And then go back and multiply that times 5. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 1. 40 plus 1 is 41. Now just to review what I'm doing here, I'm multiplying 5 times 1 is 5, plus the next number, plus 3 is 8, and then I multiply it back times 5, that's 40, plus 1. So I multiply, add, and then I multiply, and then I add. So that makes it a whole lot easier. With a little practice, you can do this in about 3 seconds, maybe 4 seconds. That was for number 24. Number 27, 8 1/3 is 1/12. 1/12 of 72 is 6. If you didn't know that, you're going to do 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25. 25 over 300 reduces to 1/12. 12 goes into 72 6 times. Number 28 is a remainder problem. So here, find the remainder of 20 divided by 8. So you do 20 minus 16, that's 4. And then 17 minus 16, that's 1. And 19 minus 16, that's 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply those and subtract that. 4 times 1 is 4, minus 3 is 1. So your remainder is 1. And I believe there's one more that we wanted to... Yes, one more would be number 34, the last one before you flip the page to the back. How long would it take to travel 450 miles at 75 miles per hour? So miles per hour, how many hours? So that's 450 divided by 75. And so there's a couple ways that you can do this. One way is that you can reduce this by 3. You're going to have 25 here and 150 there. And when you divide by 25, you multiply by 4. So times 4 times 4. So that's 600 divided by 100, that's 6. So the answer is 6. Now there's another way of doing this, and I think of 75 as, think of 0.75, which is 3/4. So if you have 450 divided by 3 multiplied by 4, so it's actually 4.5 because you're divided by 75, not 0.75. So 450 divided by 3 is the 150, and then multiply it by 4. 150 times 4 is 600, divided by 100, that's 6 hours. And that will be it for number 34. Okay, if you liked this video so far and you learned a lot, hit the like button, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already. And sometimes students will ask, how can I get a hold of you? I need some extra help besides the front page. Maybe you can help me on the back. Business inquiries, thenumbersense400@gmail.com. I'll answer all emails. And if you just want to leave a comment and a question, just leave comments. I'll answer all comments also. And one more thing, just to answer the students that have been asking, why can't you do the rest of the problems, do all of them, do all the ones in the back? I'll let you in a little secret here. Um, I checked the YouTube algorithm, and most students aren't getting to the back. The majority of the students are only looking at the first 10 problems, maybe the first 12 problems, 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes max per video. And so if I spent an hour doing all of those problems in the back, nobody's watching. But if you're serious about number sense and you want to score higher and you want to learn all this, I've been doing this for a long, long time, almost 50 years since I was a student, and I'm a retired teacher now. And I'm helping students make it to state, score higher, learn more math, do better. And so anytime anybody's interested, I leave my email there for you. I want to thank you for staying around to the end, and we'll see you in the next video.